Good morning. Can you hear me? Yes, I got a wave, so that means someone can hear me. Thank you to those of you who told me that. It feels like I haven't seen you guys in forever. 1 week off just felt like a long time. I hope you all had a good Thanksgiving, although I know for many of us it was maybe different than what we're used to, maybe a little smaller. Yeah. My family's in Texas, so I never get to see them on Thanksgiving anyway. So for me, it was very normal, which is not like most people, but. All right, so just a quick reminder, you probably, maybe you forgot that your, I'm gonna say final in this class, because hopefully it's not a hard final, is to do a video of yourself doing sun salutation A, and that's on your assignments for next week. So hopefully you're feeling comfortable with that. We've been doing it a lot this semester. We'll do it today. I'm also going to put an announcement up just that has the refresher for you guys. There's a video and then there's a graphic. So if you're like, I don't remember sun salutation A, you can go look at that for reference. But just so you're thinking about that, it's due next Friday. You're welcome to do it early if you want to get it out of the way, because I know you guys are really busy this semester. How many of you guys just feel comfortable with sun salutation A right now? Like you feel like you could do a video? Oh, okay, cool. Most of you guys, good. I'd like to say it's because you have a good teacher, but that's just because you guys have been paying attention. All right, before we get started moving today, I just wanted you to think, because we're coming to the end of the semester, and I know some of you guys took this class just because you needed a credit, let's be honest. But I hope maybe you've gotten some tools that you liked that have helped you this semester. So if you just think back about some of the things we've done, you've done some breathing exercises, you've done meditations, we've done the vinyasa style yoga that we've done in the live classes where you kind of move with a breath. You've also done restorative, which is those longer holds that you've done in some of the videos. So right now in the chat, before we get started, I want you to let me know if there's maybe one thing that you really liked in class that you think you might take and use as the semester comes to an end and moving into the rest of your life. So just take a minute. You can send it directly to me in the chat, or you can send it to everyone if you're comfortable. But just maybe one thing that you think you can implement moving forward. So I'm going to give you about a minute to just type here, maybe less if you're fast typers. Ooh, meditation. Nice. Are some of you guys still thinking? Oh, okay, there we go. I don't even know what to say right now because so many of you guys have said meditations, which as a yoga teacher makes me really happy. I think so many people think meditation is intimidating, but I think you guys have found there's a lot of different kinds of guided meditations that you've done this semester. Some you liked, some you didn't, that's okay. You found things that really resonate with you, and you have access to that insight timer. It's free. So you can go find things that you like. You can find short, long meditations. So I'm so happy that some of you guys have liked that. We've got breathing techniques, restorative, the vinyasa. Yeah, cool. I had a student say yesterday that she works at Target, and when she comes home, her legs are so tired, she just does some sun salutations. Have to do an hour yoga class to be doing yoga. So yeah, I just want you to be able to take what you liked from this class and hopefully use it to help you as you move throughout the rest of your life. I wish I had been given access to yoga when I was in my 20s because I think it would have been really helpful. Cool. All right, so we have 2 poses today. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I wanna get you warm for these 2 poses. So let's start seated. Let's scooch back here. So let's start in a comfortable cross-legged position. I have to already apologize because I don't know about you, but the smoke and the fire is getting to me. So I'm going to be coughing a little bit this morning. So once you find your comfortable seat, just sit up nice and tall and close your eyes. And I know that you guys have a lot going on as the semester comes to an end, and that many of you are feeling stressed and that you have a lot to get done. So just know for the next hour that you get to do something that's good for yourself, and this practice of yoga will really help set the tone for your day, so maybe you can get those things done more efficiently. So just take an inhale through your nose. Soft exhale out the mouth, let it go. And then close the mouth, take an inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. And then just take a couple more rounds of breath on your own, in and out through the nose. Just knowing that this is something you can do on your own at any time. Maybe if you just need to take a minute in your day to close your eyes and focus on your breath. And then just take your chin down towards your chest. Just pause there, feeling that length in the back of the neck. And then return your head to neutral, and then just very softly look up towards the ceiling. So feeling that length in the front of the neck. And then bring the head back through neutral as you take your chin towards your chest. Roll the right ear over to the right shoulder and pause. And then take the chin to the chest, roll the left ear to the left shoulder. And then take the chin to the chest, just lift the head back up to neutral, reach the arms up by the ears, and take a twist over to your right. So just a really gentle twist this morning, just starting to ease into moving our bodies. I know for me it's a little cold in my house, so maybe you're also feeling a little cold and stiff. So we'll just start nice and easy. And then just unwind that, twist over to the other side. And then just unwind, come back to center. Take your fingertips in front of you. You can stay upright with the torso or just walk yourself gently forward. So maybe coming down to your forearms, bending the elbows. And then walk the hands back, lift the chest, just change the cross of the legs so your opposite shin comes in front. Reach your arms up by your ears and then take your right palm down. Just take a side bend, reaching through those left fingertips. And then come up through center, take it to the other side. And then come back up to center, reach both arms up, and then take your fingertips down again, walking forward if you'd like. And as you hold here, just focusing on letting your breath be soft. And then walk your hands back, lift your chest, just unwind your legs, keep the knees bent, but take your feet a little wider than your hips. I think you can see me. And then you can take your hands next to your hips, maybe a little behind, and then drop your knees over to the right. So you'll kind of roll off to the right side of the hip, and then bring them through center and take them to the left. So you're gonna just start to rock back and forth here on your own, taking the knees side to side. You're probably going to start to crawl yourself forward a little bit. So you may have to readjust yourself here in a moment. And then next time your knees are over to the right, pause there. So your legs are in this kind of pinwheel shape, kind of like 90-degree bend with both the knees. You can turn your torso over to the right. Just stay upright with the torso. And then you can just extend your arms straight out from your shoulders and rest fingertips down. And just take a couple breaths here. And you can stay upright with the torso right where you are. If you want, you can take your hands in front of your right shin and kind of walk yourself forward, kind of like we just did in that other position. So you can be on the forearms if that feels okay. And then walk your hands back if you're forward, lift your chest. Turn your torso back to center as you bring your knees back to center, and then drop your knees over to the other side. Turn your torso that direction and just rest on the fingertips with the torso upright. And then again, you can stay right there. Now you know where we're going. Or if you want, you can walk the hands forward, come on to the forearms. I feel like if you were not feeling awake before class, you're definitely going to feel awake after today's class. Walk your hands back, lift your chest, spin back to center, lift your knees through center, and then make your way up into tabletop. And we'll just start to take some cat-cow here. So inhale, lengthen the chest. Exhale, curl and round. You know this movement, so I'm going to let you take this movement on your own with your own breath cycle. Maybe as we move through class today, you think about certain poses that you like, that feel good. So for me, cat-cow is something that I like to do every day. It just feels nice to get everything moving. And then just come back to neutral in tabletop. We're gonna start to make some circles with the right leg. Don't worry about being perfect. We just wanna get some movement. So hug your right knee towards your chest. Keep the knee bent as you take that leg to the right, and then extend the leg back behind you and straighten it. So make that a little more fluid. Hug it in, take it to the side, extend it back. Just go at your own pace. Just trying to get some movement in the hip here. And then after your next circle, just return that leg to tabletop and wiggle your hip side to side. And then taking the left side, hug that knee in, keep it bent, take it to the side, and then extend it back and straighten it. Just taking that circular motion of the leg on your own. And then lower that leg down, just wiggle your hips side to side. And then bring your big toes together, sit back and take child's pose. And just take a couple breaths here. And then make your way up through tabletop. And then tuck your toes, lift your hips, come to your first down dog. Ooh, I'm sore this morning. Maybe you're like me, you're like, oh, hello, backs and legs, I'm feeling you. You can take a little bit of movement, maybe rocking the hips side to side or pedaling the feet a little bit. And then walk your feet forward to meet your hands. Coming to forward fold at the front of the mat. Let's hold here for a couple breaths. So maybe bending the knees, reaching hands for opposite elbows, taking a little sway side to side. And then release your hands down to the mat. On your next inhale, lift up halfway, hands to shins or thighs. On your exhale, fold back forward. Inhale, come all the way up to standing, reach up. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart. We'll do 2 rounds of sun salutation A. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step to modified plank, knees are down. Take an inhale there. Exhale, lower to your belly. Inhale for cobra, lift head and shoulders. Exhale, lower down, press through tabletop to downward facing dog. Traditionally, we take 5 breaths here. For your video, you can take as many breaths as you want. Maybe it's just 1. And then walk your feet forward to your hands. Take an inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands down to heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step to plank or modified plank, your choice. Take an inhale wherever you landed. And exhale, lower down to your belly. Inhale for cobra, lift head and shoulders. Exhale, lower down, press through tabletop to downward facing dog. Just gonna hold here for 2 or 3 breaths. And walk your feet forward to your hands. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart and close your eyes. I'm just gonna take a couple breaths here, standing in mountain pose with your hands at prayer. And then we'll move through some lunging sun salutations here. So on your inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, right foot back for a lunge, right knee down to the mat. Inhale, arms by the ears, watch your palms touch at the top. Exhale, hands come down, step back to downward facing dog. Take an inhale and down dog, and an exhale. On your inhale, take your right leg up and back. Exhale, foot between the hands, back knee down. Inhale, arms by the ears, palms touch. Exhale, hands frame the foot, back foot forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, cactus your arms, take a little back bend. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, left foot back, left knee down. Inhale, arms by the ears, palms touch. Exhale, hands frame the foot, downward facing dog. Take an inhale here, and an exhale. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, foot between the hands, back knee down. Inhale, arms by the ears, palms touch. Exhale, hands bring the foot, back foot forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands down to the heart, close your eyes again. Just take a couple breaths here. Noticing your breath probably sped up a little bit. Maybe you're starting to get a little warmer. And then on your inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, go straight to downward facing dog. Take your right leg up and back behind you. Bring the foot between the hands, drop the back knee down, and then take the arms up by the ears. And then just hook your thumbs overhead. I know it's hard to see me. And then once your thumbs are hooked, take a little side bend over to your right. And then come back upright, just release the hooks of the thumbs and touch your palms overhead. And then if it feels okay, you can bend your elbows so your thumbs kind of come to your neck. You can stay right there if you want. You can lift the elbows, lift the chest towards the ceiling. Imagine there's a beach ball behind you and just lift up and over. So you're coming into a little back bend, gazes up towards the ceiling. And then come back upright, just take the arms, extend them by the ears. Hands frame the front foot and just go straight back to downward facing dog. And then take your left leg up and back. Bring the foot between the hands, drop the back knee down, and then take the arms up by the ears. Hook the thumbs overhead, and then take a side bend over to your left. And then come back upright, release the thumbs, touch the palms overhead. You can keep the arms straight or maybe you bend them. You can stay upright or you can lift the elbows in the chest, maybe take a little back bend as you gaze up. And then come back upright, extend the arms by the ears. Hands frame the front foot and step back, downward facing dog. Take the right leg up and back behind you. Bring the foot between the hands, spin the back heel down, warrior two. Take your arms to a T, look over your right fingertips. Think about all these poses that you didn't know before the semester started, and now you can just listen and do all, and that's pretty cool. And then from here, right forearm to thigh, left arm up by the ear. Extended side angle. And then come back to your warrior two. Cartwheel your hands down to frame your front foot and step to downward facing dog. Give 2 breaths when you get to down dog. And then take the left leg up and back. Bring the foot between the hands, spin the back heel down, warrior two. You got it. And then take your left arm to your thigh, right arm by the ear, extended side angle. Make sure you're still breathing and not holding your breath. I realized I was just holding my breath. It happens to the best of us. And come back up to warrior two. Hands frame your front foot and step back to downward facing dog. Drop your knees down to the mat. Take your hips to your heels. Take a child's pose. Just let your breath settle down here. Way up to a place where you can look at your screen. So I'm going to introduce the first pose of the day, and I'll type these in the chat at the end. But this is called the garland pose. So just watch me and then we'll go through it together. So we're going to start in a standing forward fold. I'll turn this way because I think it's easier for you to see me. So we'll walk our feet a little wider than the hips, so a little wider stance. Heels are going to spin in and toes out, kind of like you're a ballerina. And then knees will bend and hips come down. Can you guys see that? I think you can. Hands will come to the heart. Now, this pose is not for everybody. So if you have something going on with your knee or your ankle or your hip, and you come here and you're like, oh my God, that does not feel good, you're going to just come back to your standing forward fold. Another option is if you have a block, I know some of you got blocks, or maybe just a folded blanket or a pillow accessible, you can just take that right underneath your sit bones for a little support. So let's give it a shot, see how it goes. Please make sure you listen to your body since I'm not in the same room with you guys. So come into downward facing dog, we'll meet there. And then walk your hands and your feet towards each other so you're in a forward fold at the center of your mat. Walk your feet a little wider than your hips. Spin your heels in towards each other and your toes out. And then take your time as you bend your knees, sit your hips down to your heels. And then you decide, maybe this isn't for you. So maybe you come back to that forward fold, that's okay. Maybe you close your eyes. You have one more breath here in garland pose. And then take your hands to the mat. Straighten your legs, lift your hips, walk your feet hips distance and parallel. And then make your way back to down dog. So walk your hands forward and your feet back. Drop your knees down to the mat for table. Whew, that's over. Take an inhale, lengthen your chest forward. Exhale, curl and round. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, round. And then just come back to tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift your hips for down dog again. Walk your hands and your feet towards each other, coming back to that forward fold at the center of the mat. We're not going to do that pose again. Take an inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. On your inhale, come all the way up to standing, reach up. And exhale, bring your hands down to your heart. So coming into tree with your right leg here, I'm going to let you decide what you do. The right ball of the foot can be down. You can lift to inner calf or inner thigh. Maybe arms go up by the ears if you like that variation. And then maybe you play with the gaze. If your gaze is down, maybe you look forward. If your gaze is forward, maybe you look up. Maybe you even try closing your eyes. If your eyes are closed, open them. If your arms are up, just bring the hands down to the heart. Hug the right knee in towards the center of your chest, and then just lower the foot, lower the arms, give yourself a little shake out. Just let go of that. And then bring the hands back to the heart. Take your left leg into your variation of tree, wherever you'd like to go. And for me, every day is different. Sometimes I just like to have my foot down. And then if you want, arms can reach up by the ears. And then maybe you explore the gaze. If you're looking down, look forward. If you're looking forward, maybe you gaze up. Maybe you try closing your eyes. Maybe if you're like me, you fell when you tried to do one of those things. If your eyes are closed, open them. If your arms are up, just bring your hands to your heart. And then hug that knee towards the center of the chest. Lower the foot, lower the arm, shake everything out. And then just come back to mountain pose, right where you are. I think you're in the center of your mat. It's hard to see where you guys are. On your inhale, reach up. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step to downward facing dog. You can stay in your down dog, or we're going to take a vinyasa, which is just part of the sun salutation. So you can come forward to plank or modified plank. Lower all the way down to your belly. Lift your head and your shoulders for cobra. And then lower everything down, press through tabletop to downward facing dog. 2 breaths here in down dog. Remember, if you're starting to get tired, you can always drop your knees. I haven't seen you guys in 2 weeks, so you might be a little tired. And then drop your knees down to the mat. Oh, that's a cute little dog. Come into child's pose. Take a couple of breaths in child's pose. I'm gonna miss all your pets. I'm gonna miss you too. And then make your way back up to a place where you can watch me. So this is the second pose of the day. And I think this pose is kind of challenging. It requires some flexibility, although everybody yesterday in my class loved it. So I hope that you guys love this pose. I've moved my mat so you can see me a little better for this one. I hope I don't bite it because my floor is slippery, so hopefully I'll be all right. So you can just watch me here for a second. So we'll start in down dog. We'll take one leg up and back, and then we're gonna bend that knee and bring it towards the elbow, and then land the outside of the front leg down. So that front leg is bent, and the back leg is straight, and the toes are untucked. Can you guys kind of see that? I can't, yeah, okay. So if you see it from the front, you really can't see that. So this front shin for some people will be kind of parallel to the front of the mat, but that's kind of extreme. You'll probably have more of a diagonal with that front heel towards your opposite hip. So we'll start with the torso upright, and this is how you can do your assignment. And then we'll take a variation where you walk it forward and you can come to your forearms. So let's give it a shot. Make your way to down dog. We'll meet in down dog. And then take your right leg up and back. Bend that knee, bring your right knee towards your right elbow, and then land the outside of your right leg down. You might have to adjust your left foot back a little bit and come to the top of your left foot. Now, if you get here and you're really uncomfortable, just come out of it. Again, this pose isn't for everybody, so it's not worth hurting yourself for a yoga pose. So if you're okay here, just maybe stay on the fingertips with the arms straight and the torso upright. We'll just take another breath or two in this variation. And then if you'd like, you can start to walk your hands forward, maybe bending the elbows, dropping down to your forearms. So again, this is called pigeon pose. Some yoga classes, you might hold this for a minute or 2 minutes. To me, way longer than I want to be in this shape. But again, some people love it. I hope for you that you love it. And then just walk your hands back. Plant your palms flat, about shoulders distance apart. And then tuck your back toes, press into your hands. See if you can come to three-legged dog, taking your right leg up and back behind you. And then just circle your right leg around a little bit. Maybe you bend the knee and make some circles. Don't worry about being perfect. Just do whatever feels sort of natural there. And then lower your right foot back to down dog. Oh, take your left leg up and back behind you. Bend the knee, bring the left knee to the left elbow, land on the outside of that left leg. Maybe you have to wiggle your right foot back and untuck the toes. Again, if it's not for you, come out of it. If you're okay here, we'll be on fingertips, torso upright, a couple more breaths. Remember when I said you're going to be awake after this class? I think pigeon's going to wake you up. If you want, you can walk yourself forward. Bend those elbows, come onto the forearms. And then just walk your hands back, plant the palms flat, shoulders distance apart. Tuck your back toes, push into your hands, lift your belly, and take your left leg up and back behind you for three-legged dog. And then take a little bit of movement with that leg, maybe bending the knees, circling it around. And then lower your left foot back to down dog. And then drop your knees, come into child's pose and just rest there. And if pigeon pose isn't for you, that's okay. For me, it's not a pose I practice very often. But if you love it, it's something that's always available to you. Somebody yesterday and their homework said they just do that like while they're watching TV. So maybe you're one of those people. All right, make your way up through tabletop. Come back to seated and just extend your legs straight out in front of you. Let your hands just rest comfortably behind you and then just wiggle your toes side to side. So you're just kind of shaking out your legs here. I just remembered I forgot a pose I wanted to do. I just do all this from my head, so I forget things all the time. All right, come to the front of the mat. Knees bent, hands behind the knees, and then make your way all the way down to your back. We'll just take one bridge pose here. So maybe walk your feet in closer to the body, take the arms by the sides, and then just press into the feet, roll yourself up into bridge, and keep your hips elevated once you get to the top. And then lower the hips down and just pause there with your hips down. Just let everything settle and relax. And then hug your knees in towards your chest. Cross your right thigh over your left thigh. So thighs are crossed right over left. And then hands can go behind the thighs to hug them in towards the chest. Or maybe you're reaching the hands for outer edges of the feet. And if you don't like having your thighs crossed, feel free to uncross them and just hold your knees up in towards your chest. And then just unwind your legs and change sides, left thigh over right, taking whatever hand variation you took on the first side. And then just unwind your legs and hug the knees back in towards the chest. And then take your arms to a T, drop your legs over to the right for a simple twist. Maybe this is a pose you like or some variation of it. This is one I like that I like to do a lot. And again, you can just take like 30 seconds on each side if you need a break from sitting at your computer. Maybe you do it right before you go to bed or when you first wake up. And And then draw your legs up through center, drop them over to the other side. And just bring your legs back up through center, hug them in towards the chest. You can stay with the knees hugged in, or maybe you reach for outer edges of the feet, of the backs of the knees, hugging the knees towards the armpits, soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. Maybe a little rock side to side wherever you are. And then hug your knees towards your chest. Give yourself a little hug. And then just release your legs. Come into your variation of corpse pose here. Wherever you feel most comfortable and supported. And as you settle in here, just notice what it felt like to move and breathe for the past hour or so. I know you feel like you have a lot on your plate right now, but just acknowledge that you will get it done. You have the ability and the capacity to complete everything that you need to in the next couple of weeks. There's light at the end of the tunnel. I know sometimes it's hard to see that. And then just give yourself the next minute or two of stillness and peace. And start to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Circle your ankles and your wrists. Reach your arms by your ears. Give yourself a nice big stretch. And then roll off to one side. Pause there with your eyes closed. Press into your top hand. Make your way up to a comfortable seated position. Eyes closed, hands at the heart. We all have something within us that the world needs. You may not even realize how you have impacted somebody in your life, especially this year. You have all impacted me, and I am grateful for each and every one of you. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. All right, so quick recap of the poses of today. So you can get into them however you want. My Tuesday, Thursday class for Garland pose, a lot of them just went from standing, which I think is hard, but if that works for you, you can do it. I'm gonna come into it from a forward fold, heels in, bend the knees, hands to prayer. As always, if any of these poses don't feel good for you, you're welcome to just verbally tell me what it looks like or how you get into it, especially if it's not good for your knees. And then same thing with pigeon, you can get into it however you want. I'm gonna come in from down dog, one leg comes up, bend the knee, take it to the same elbow, and then just drop down to the outside of that leg. No problem, right? So let me just type those in really fast for you if you're not sure what I'm saying. So Garland pose is that little squat, and oh, I'm yelling at you, I'm in all caps, sorry. Pigeon. Who liked pigeon, just out of curiosity? Oh yeah, okay, some of you did, some of you didn't, good. Yesterday, everyone said they liked it, and I was like, oh man, am I the only person who doesn't like pigeon pose? Some of you were with me. All right, cool. So next week is our last class, is that right? Yeah, I think it is. Very sad, I know, boo. I mean, I know you're gonna be glad the semester is over, but I hope that you're gonna miss yoga. All right, well, I will see you next week. And if you wanna do that sun salutation video early, I think it's accessible. If not, it's due next week. So, all right, I'll stay on if you have questions. If not, I will see you on next Friday. Bye, guys.
Have a good day.
Thanks. Bye, Jillian.